Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Sarcastic Barman and welcome to my channel. We've got a fun one for you tonight, but before I do, I've got to show off this. How awesome is that? So, that's off my sister for Christmas. One of her friends makes these things. If anyone's in Wales and wants something like this making, send me a message. I'll forward you on to who makes them, because that is awesome. But anyway, to tonight's video, which is by one of the most despicable people in the planet, according to some people, and I will have to probably agree, because I really don't like this person.
My name's Katie Hopkins, and I need you to remember one number for me. Just the one, and it's this. 388.
Yep, it's the good old Katie Hopkins. Oh, the joys. And she wants us to remember 388. So what we'll do is go, boop, we'll stick that in the top corner, and we'll remember 388. And any other numbers she probably forgets to mention or glosses over, shall we say.
That is not the number of people that have called me a haggard old cow. 388 is the total number of people
that call you a stupid cow. Sorry, I should probably let her finish the sentence.
Under the age of 60 who've died from COVID. 388 under the age of 60 since the pandemic began.
Hang on, you think only 388 people under the age of 60 have died since the pandemic began? Where? Because that's definitely not the record for England and Wales. That'll be this number, 3,570. So, no. Do you just like lying, or are you just that stupid?
These people didn't have any known pre-existing health conditions. These people had tested positive, maybe, for COVID.
Oh, I see. We're talking about people that didn't have underlying health conditions. That'll be that number then. 477. Still not 388. You really need to sack whoever does your bloody research. Or learn to do research yourself. One of the two, because you're digging a hole and failing well and truly here. Oh, let's let you go on and make more of a big hole for yourself. I'm not even going to address the maybe tested comment, because I don't think you justify that. Your stupidity is very apparent to see at this point.
And this number of people died. We have collapsed our entire economy, locked down a nation, thrown small businesses to the wall, taken children out of their schools. People have missed their exams. People have been made homeless for 388 people.
Now, while I'm not happy with all aspects of the lockdown and everything that's happened, and maybe the government could have done more, maybe they couldn't have. Who am I say I'm not in the government? But the figure is still not 388. The full figure would be the 43,555 as of the 17th of December. And that was a week before you made your video, and a couple of weeks ago for me. But no, the figure is still not 388. Why are you ruling out everyone over the age of 60? I forgot, you're not over the age of 60, are you? You might look relatively old, but no. These people still count. These people still deserve to not have to die for stupidity. And for people like you say, no, we shouldn't wear masks, we shouldn't do anything because I don't give a flying fuck.
We've got the longest NHS waiting list since time began.
Which could have really been helped if people didn't fuck about, go out during the lockdowns, not wear masks, hold protests about not wearing masks, encourage people not to wear masks, encourage people to go out, encourage people to ignore the fucking lockdowns, hence leading to higher infection rates, meaning there's more pressure put on the NHS. Basically, the people screaming about freedom, going, no, I'm not going to wear a mask. You're not just, like, increasing COVID deaths, you're increasing deaths in the long term for everyone else. Can you not understand this?
Cancer patients have missed their treatments, and people are committing suicide at a rate that has never been seen before. You're not allowed to talk about that either, for 388 deaths.
Now, we have to ask the big question here. What kind of heartless, inconsiderate, stupid fucking cow would you have to be to bring up suicide rates without probably checking the information and possibly lying about it to try and prove a point that isn't actually true. Because if we pull up something like the ONS figures for suicides for 2020 and opposed to years previous to it, for the first 3 quarters we're down 400. So, yeah. Katie, it's a shame you haven't got 388 fucking brain cells to rub to fucking together and to check things before you make an absolute fucking ass of yourself. How fucking ignorant and fucking stupid do you have to be to mention something like suicides? To try and prove a point that you can't actually make because you don't have the figures, because you're too ignorant, lazy, or stupid to do the fucking research for. Shut the fuck up, get your ass off the internet, and I don't want to do the rest of your video, but I feel like there are probably more points that need to be addressed.
Under the age of 60, can you even imagine the ludicrousy of this situation? And you know, they talk about hospitals being under pressure. Part of me wonders if it's because people have been practicing their TikTok routines.
Oh, you want me to call her a fucking stupid cow? I feel like you can do that yourselves.
But, you know, for the staff that have chosen not to show up to work, not the ones that are still there, the ones that are self-isolating or needing to stay home on furlough, this number, 76,200. This is the number of NHS staff that failed to show up for work, that pulled a sickie on one day. It was Friday, the 30th of October.
And are you going to break that number down in any actual useful way? How many were actually sick with COVID and didn't want to go in and infect people who might have been at risk and not wanted to get the disease and possibly die? Or are you just going to say, look, these people didn't show up for work? Ugh. Fuck off. Unless you're going to do something with the figures and give a bit more explanation, it's a bit pointless at this point. It's like your number of 388. That number's wrong and means nothing. The 76,000 without some context of who was ill, why were they off and things like that also makes no goddamn sense.
You want to know why our NHS is under pressure, why our hospitals can't take any more people, why ambulances are queued outside? Because in one day in the NHS, 76,000 people decided not to show up for work.
So while you're choosing not to break down those numbers anymore, I thought I would. So we had a look at NHS staff sicknesses and things like that, and had a brief look through. At the peak in April, 30% of all staff that were off on the NHS were off because of COVID. 20% were off because of stress and anxiety. Or depression. Yeah, you're going to moan 1 minute about suicide rates that haven't increased, while also dissing people who might be off for depression and stress and anxiety from all the fucking work they're having to do with putting up with seeing thousands of people dying every day. Obviously not one person is seeing thousands of people dying, that would be too much to take. But you're still not breaking these numbers down. You're still being a heartless cow and blaming everything on some people who are sick, when basically this whole thing is because people are sick. The fuck is wrong with you?
I'm not allowed to say either of those two things. I'm not allowed to tell you that only 388 people under the age of 60 have died from COVID since this pandemic began, and nobody is allowed to criticise the NHS or the people sitting at home on furlough, the doctors and nurses refusing to show up for work. My name is Katie Hopkins, and both those facts are perfectly true.
Now you use the word facts, but I'm not sure you know what a fact is, because that 388 number I don't think is factual. Well, it's not. But as for the 76,000 number, without some sort of basis for why those people are ill and what's going on, it's a pointless number. There could have been 100,000 people off, and it would have made no difference if, say, 70-odd thousand had COVID and the other 30-odd thousand were their partners and have to look after them or something daft like that. You can't just say a number without giving it some sort of context. You're fueling the sort of shittiness that leads to nurses doing tweets like this. Yeah, not nice. You are an absolute waste of space, love. You really are. And what's worse is people pay attention to you and follow you and hang on the words you say when you're basically talking complete and utter bollocks. Fuck my life, I need a drink. That's enough for tonight. A big thank you to all my Patreon supporters, members, and everything like that. Hopefully my Patrons and members are watching this video early, because I've actually remembered to do something for once. Yay. But apart from that, thank you very much. I've been the Sarcastic Bomb, and don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and good night. Oh, buy a hoodie. Ha.